And about yourself. There's a little Kermit there on the end. About yourself. Hi ho. Hey, a little bit about yourself. Hi ho.
You want to hear it? Make sure you like it.
What did you think of that yourself? It really is only that last word where I felt, and it may be fine because they're also cousins. It's like a Venn diagram between Yoda and Kermit. That wild night in the swamp. Nobody talks about. I'm gonna miss this frog, man. That.
They still stung. Zertelo brought his sword up.
I'd also like green M&Ms. A gallon of green M&Ms every day.
Green only?
Uh-huh.
Don't worry, we've got a guy for that.
Kind of what I do today is there's passages where it even says that Kroggrog kind of drops his froggy thing and talks a little bit more normal. But I just kind of want to play with, sometimes he can be fun to listen to, and sometimes, I just kind of need to get the information across. So he doesn't have to do the full, riveting, rolling thing all the time. So kind of watch me on that. Chapter 5, Sharpening Sword and Mind.
From that day on, Kroggrog the frog became Zertelo's mentor. The lizard was accustomed to doing whatever he wanted all day, eating when he wanted, sleeping when he wanted, and playing when he wanted. But training to be a knight was work, hard work. After a particularly long lecture about courtesy and manners, which Zertelo found unbearably boring, the first lesson in swordplay began. Kroggrog faced Zertelo with a wooden stick. Without his tail to counterbalance his movement, Zertelo didn't see how he could ever learn to sword fight. His teacher seemed to know what the lizard was thinking. He gave a wry smile, bowed his fat round body, and instructed,
Bow to your opponent. Bow to your opponent, Zertelo. Good. Now, weren't all those hours spent on manners worth it?
The frog began to circle, surprisingly limber and quick despite his appearance.
Sword up to the ready, Zertelo. Higher, higher. Good. Now try to strike me.
Zertelo lunged. Kroggrog parried, spun, and jumped clear over Zertelo's head. That's not fair, cried Zertelo. You can jump farther than I can because you are a frog.
Should I complain that you are smaller, more flexible, and more agile? And what's more, you have a sword, and I only have a stick.
His words weren't meant as an insult, but they still stung. Zertelo brought his sword up to the ready for another go. The fat old frog deflected the attack as easily as the first time. What am I doing wrong?
Watch your opponent's weapon,
Kroggrog suggested. Zertelo lost the third round, too.
Keep your eye on your opponent. Ignore everything else,
Kroggrog encouraged. Zertelo tried, just watching his teacher, but the results were the same.
Pay attention to your environment. Use the roots, vines, and rocks to your advantage,
Kroggrog instructed.
Pay attention to your environment. Use the roots, vines, and rocks to your advantage.
Zertelo's shoulders drooped in frustration. How am I supposed to watch your weapon, ignore everything but you, and pay attention to the environment all at the same time? Kroggrog closed his eyes.
You have to see through more than just your eyes. See through your hands holding the sword. See through your feet as they read the ground.
See through your mind as you become aware of what is happening. See through your opponent's point of view and know what he will do next. See through time and understand what led to the fight and what will be the consequences.
Actually, I don't mind if it sounds a little Yoda-y at this point.
Zertelo didn't think he could do all of that. He closed his eyes as his teacher had and tried to imagine himself moving through space perfectly. When he opened his eyes, Kroggrog already had his stick up to the ready position.
Zertelo didn't think he could do all of that. He closed his eyes as he do all of that. He closed his eyes as his teacher had and tried to...
Zertelo watched him carefully. He envisioned swinging the sword up to block Kroggrog's downward strike, and then a warm vibration in his shoulders and a tingling in his claws told him it had really happened. Kroggrog's stick was braced against the sword because Zertelo had brought the blade up at just the right time. I bet he will hop over me again, thought Zertelo. That's what I'd do. And so Kroggrog did. At the height of his leap, the frog twisted midair and struck at the lizard. Zertelo was ready. He spun around and set his feet wide to be low for Kroggrog's high attack. Sword clashed with stick and smashed the wood in two. Though defeated, the frog was not at all disappointed. He beamed with pride and sang a few rivets despite himself. Well done! Well done! Thank you, Kroggrog, Zertelo said, and quickly looked away. He was excited and wanted to say more, but the words would not come. A new emotion swelled in his chest and up into his throat. He didn't know what it was called, but he knew it came from Kroggrog's believing in him. It felt good to know his mentor had his best interest at heart.
It felt good to know his mentor had his best interest at heart. It felt good to know his mentor had his best interest at heart.
Yes. I think we have both earned a nice goblet of cricket juice. Now, where did I put those goblets? Oh, yes, here they are. The only thing more magical than their sudden appearance was the taste of their content.
Are we ready?
Listen, said Kroggrog as they sat on the edge of a rock shelf overlooking the ravine. Zertelo could see the tops of the mushroom house, their luminous glow dimmed in the absence of their master. The sun was setting behind the forest. A star appeared, and just then he heard it. First one voice, then another began to sing. Crickets, frogs, and birds each sang their part of the melody, adding a little of their magic. Why do they sing? Asked Zertelo. Because Belfar cannot tell them who they are. The creatures of the forest are strong, but they will need you, Zertelo. I don't know if I'm ready yet. Your tail is growing nicely. When others see your blue stripe, they must believe they can depend on you. How did it come to me? Why did I grow into the stripe? Even I don't know the answer to those questions, my dear lizard, but we must restore the forest to what it once was. That I do know. The frog's old voice had lost its croaky roughness as he spoke. It had taken on a warm flow of the best summer days, when everything seems good and freedom shines everywhere. What will be my part in restoring the forest? Asked Zertelo. The road ahead of a knight is a road of trials. His task is never done. No matter how many victories are won or how much valor is shown, someone will always need your help. You will always be needed to face dangers so that others can be free. The true calling of a knight is to seek peace even while confronting great peril. A knight must find peace inside, even when he must fight. I didn't know it would be so hard.
As long as you serve the light of the forest, help will come when you need it most, usually in ways you least expect. Through peace, we come to respect one another and find common ways of seeing what is good.
Like CastleOak, shouted Zertelo. Every time I have felt down, thinking of the great tree has brought me back up. When I feel low, all I have to do is wish to see it, and my spirit is lifted.
Do you know why, Zertelo?
Asked Kroggrog. No, Zertelo lowered his eyes. He was having a hard time meeting his teacher's gaze. I've never questioned it.
Perhaps if your quest is true, you will find more than glory and titles. Perhaps you will find the meaning of the old symbol of the forest, and so understand more about the world and about yourself.
Then will I be a knight?
To prove a knight's virtue, the founders of CastleOak set 3 tests of mind, heart, and spirit. You passed the first when you understood the need for the animals to see their virtue. You will pass the others when your understanding has grown.
I thought my skill with a sword would be the test. I thought my abilities would inspire other animals to follow me. Kroggrog looked tired. He stared hard at Zertelo and, with a voice grim and stern, said,
Your abilities allow you to lead, but it is where you lead your fellow creatures that will make you great.
I thought my abilities would inspire other animals to follow me.
Your abilities allow you to lead, but it is where you lead your fellow creatures that will make you great. It will make you great.
Isn't that a commercial? That's great.
That was my joke earlier. More than good.
They're great. Great. Great.
Try it again.
Okay, yeah.
One more. For the fame man.
Voice grim and stern said,
Your abilities allow you to lead, but it is where you lead your fellow creatures that will make you great.
I don't like that one.
Try a couple more. I'm going to run to the restroom.
Okay.
I'll just leave you recording. So whenever you get one you feel good, you can stop.
Your abilities allow you to lead, but it is where you lead your fellow creatures that will make you great.
Your abilities allow you to lead, but it is where you lead your fellow creatures that will make you great. Your abilities allow you to lead.
Okay.
Your abilities allow you to lead. Your abilities allow you to lead, but it is where you lead your fellow creatures that will make you great. Your abilities allow you to lead, but it is where you lead your fellow creatures that will make you great.
Your abilities allow you to lead, but it is where you lead your fellow creatures that will make you great.
Your abilities allow you to lead, but it is where you lead your fellow creatures that will make you great. Your abilities allow you to lead, but it is where you lead your fellow creatures that will make you great. Your abilities allow you to lead, but it is where you lead your fellow creatures that will make you great.
Okay,
I really stress those words.
let's do it.